Alright guys, well, welcome to Blackwing Lair. Just going to do some quick walkthroughs and commentary
Full
of this
timer,
dungeon.
shield Phoenix as we fight.
I'll do a
Kill
bit of
Skull, so we're
explaining as we
fighting.
do this.
Please kill
So,
Skull.
whole raid's going to meet up on the left side here as you enter in the door.
Gaming Legend needs Arcane Intellect.
And you're just going to so there's the entrance. You come in here, go to the left.
4, 3,
Thank you.
2,
So the first boss is the very first room. So we're going to go up here. We're going to kill Skull and X immediately. You just have to do it immediately. We just want everything to die really quickly before the boss comes towards us. Alright, so once all those are dead, we have a designated person that is controlling the orb. You can see how Phoenix here is controlling the orb, which is also controlling the boss. What the boss is doing right here is he's destroying the eggs, and once we destroy all the eggs, we're going to move into phase 2. But for phase 1, we have pre-assigned corners for melee and tanks, and what's going to happen here is each of these corners are going to be flooded with ads pretty soon, and then we're all just going to DPS them down. And then if you are ranged or a healer, you just want to stay in the middle of the room. That way you can keep your head on a swivel and DPS the ads down as they are needed. So if you see a corner that's being overrun, you just want to move over to that corner, DPS the ads, and then continue just spreading your damage around as needed. We only move into phase 2 once all the eggs are destroyed. Every so often the boss will be released from the mind control, in which case the designated person has to pick up the boss again before the boss gets to the player and one-shots them basically.
There's a Legionary in the middle of the casters. It's pretty good, actually, I think. That lets me melee weave.
Some things that I find if I'm healing like a certain tank or quadrant of this room, I'll get onto the corner of this platform, and it just helps me maintain line of sight if they run up the ramp to grab an ad. You don't really want to do that on the far side where the orb isn't, because that's usually where our designated mind control person will drop the boss off, quote, quote. And you could potentially be a victim of a mechanic.
I think Peppers was ML, right? I can't remember.
Yeah, I bet you were referring to the consumer.
No, sorry.
Sorry, I heard my name. I was doing a recording. What's up?
You're holding on to your new items, right?
I'm holding on to loot, yes.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
You can see how that ad almost got towards the orb there. It's the tank's job to pick them up, so if you're assigned to a corner, you just want to make sure the ads are not getting to that orb and attacking it, thus shortening the mind control time. Well, I actually really don't know what that does. I just know it does. You don't want it to happen because the boss can become loose from the mind control. And if we have a loose boss, a lot of people are in risk of dying. So we're getting down to the last little bit of eggs here. What's going to happen is once all those eggs on that platform right up here are dead, the mind control person is going to switch to the main tank. So we're going to have our main tank click the orb, control the boss, and then destroy the last egg right here. And what this does is it gives the main tank a huge threat lead. That way all of our other DPS can DPS
5,
safely
4,
without
3, 2,
fear
1.
of aggroing or pulling threat. Once we enter phase 2, the boss is very much like the UBRS last boss Dracasath, where he has a conflagration mechanic. He will conflagrate his main target and then switch to the next person in line as far as threat goes. So you want to have your off
10
tanks
seconds, Ramsey.
be chasing the main tank on
Okay.
threat. And then you as a DPS also want to watch your threat because you don't want to be that second person.
Temporarily Pico, yeah.
Something that's happened to us,
Criticals and laser focus on
or that
boss
I've seen
coming to your
happen,
threat. Please stay behind one
is
or two on
that if
threat,
you are
range
in the
whatever you wanna
path
call it.
of the boss coming towards the main tank once all the eggs are destroyed,
There you go.
it is potentially
Focus the
you
orcs
can
and
get
the dragons
conflagrated
very
yourself.
close.
So you just want to be away
Range
from the
don't break
boss
until you
and
feel
his
comfortable.
pathway.
Bring
That
as close as you
way
can.
the tank can pick him up
Guys, get out of your
safely.
corners, bring them close to the boss.
No, curveballs
For
are
the
being
mage.
thrown, and then you're not getting conflagged yourself.
Alright, you can go.
So we made the switch. You can see our
Everyone
main
back
tank
now.
is
Bring the dragons in. Ranzig 1 and 2.
controlling, and
Everyone back
here
now.
comes
Ranzig,
phase 2. So the last egg is
hit
destroyed.
Ranzig and heal off tank.
R-
Heal off tank, heal Ranzig.
Ranzig got
Criticals and
conflagged,
flash.
and so he's on
Rogues, you
criticals.
can
That was a
enable
pretty
enough, stand
quick
behind max
conflag,
melee.
so you just have to watch your threat here.
Ranzig and criticals 1 and 2.
Once Ranzig comes out of the conflag, his threat is through the roof, so he picks it up very, very easily.
Okay, group up on triangle. If you have sprint, get ready to use it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. GFPP if you're going to be low. Warlocks, please don't die to a techie while life tapping.
Your ally here attempted to match his power against mine. And paid the price.
These mobs, these are technicians. They're later in the instance. If you haven't been here before, they throw bombs at you.
So as you move
You
into
can dodge
this
them by
room,
moving during the cast because they'll be where
you
they
want
started
to
cast from.
make sure that you're
Melee
aggroing
stack is
the
triangle, range
goblin
stack
techies as soon as you
is
can.
blue.
But as you do that, they will throw grenades at you if you do have threat on them.
It's not here.
You just want to make sure that you are
Well,
keeping yourself moving around.
Do you not know?
I don't care. Please stack on diamond. If you're a range, triangle.
Sorry, I was just trying to hear.
Okay,
So like
guys, for this we don't have hearthstone.
the
So you
goblin
must use the portal.
techies, like they'll target you
Right.
and throw,
So
like it's a
Jamie
hidden
uses
cast
moon.
bar where
Jamie
they'll
will
throw a
drop the
grenade at
portal
you,
10 seconds.
and that grenade is locked to the position
Yeah.
that they
Magi?
were when they first started casting, if that makes sense. So if
No,
they
no,
started
behind,
casting
on the
and
throne,
you're in a
please.
certain
On the
position,
chairs.
the grenade is going to land there.
That's just down the. Yeah, that right there.
Just put it here. No, I don't want to like accidentally click on it because my angle, my screen's
Okay.
gonna be there. So like.
Okay,
here is
I'll do
fine.
it where the bench is.
Excellent. 10 seconds. Guys, if you get burning adrenaline, casters in the diamond group, you will run to where moon is now and you will click the portal. Okay, that's all you do. You do it immediately. Don't get
So all
tails
the
fight.
mages drop a portal, please. Just make it
Yep.
as easy as possible.
Xavier Frosties drop portals on top of moon at 10 seconds. It'll be a Stormwind port. And then you blink back to the raid and stack on Diamond, who is now running away for some reason. Diamond, stay
No,
still,
I'm trying to
please.
get someone else to get a portal over here. Frosty's come over and drop a portal here as well. Same for Mond, where I am right now, Diamond.
We gotta unboon.
Unboon now, everyone.
Okay, never mind.
You can talk to the dragon.
It'll be right across from me over here.
So with Vaelstrasz,
Frosty's, no, not over there. You don't
it's
need to.
basically a
Right,
tank and
right,
spank
right.
with, and every class here has infinite resource, whether it be mana, rage, energy,
Check your food, check your alcohol, check your...
and it's a DPS race. So you want to DPS Vaelstrasz down as
Missing a
quick as
boss, keep it
possible.
now.
You do
Salve
want to
everyone except Ranzig.
pop a greater fire protection potion for this fight because he just pulses fire damage.
Portal on Moon when you get it. The portal on
There
Moon.
is going to be so we want hunters to dismiss pets
On the right is just
because of a
everything's
mechanic called
blocked.
Burning Hatred. He will target someone with Burning Hatred, and once that debuff expires, you explode and die.
If you get
And how
burning
this
adrenaline,
is
you must
mitigated
drop
for
the portal.
hardcore is
And
you can use
then
your Hearthstone,
the-
and it will hearth you to wherever
Wait
your
for
hearth
threat,
is set at,
wait for threat.
but you need to hearth to a major city. In this case, we don't have our hearthstones, so we set up mage portals around the room. And so whoever gets called for Burning Hatred, they're going to use the portal and get transported to a major city. So Burning Adrenaline, sorry, it's on Mond, and he's going to go use the portal, and he's safe from the Burning Adrenaline.
Because you're very close.
It's a very easy, quick tank and spank with that one caveat of the Burning Adrenaline.
Myself, Suck Your Bussy, Aldrich, and let's do Badge. Go inside.
You feeling me?
And Brapus. And Brapus. Come on, Brapus.
Perfect. Thank you guys.
Are we not logging out?
Yeah, log out. You guys can log out now.
For this portion after Vaelstrasz, we have most of our raid
Log
log out, and we need to summon whoever got
Because I want you to parse.
ported out on the account of the Burning Adrenaline. We want to save the essence of red for as much as we can, because simply it just gives you infinite resource, which will help the next trash pack go a lot smoother when we're just pumping.
Get Valdran in here right now. You can summon him.
I asked you already, Pika.
Are we doing it or not?
Do we have an
Probably
extra
not.
cloak? Probably not. You would need like full consumes and everything. It would slow it down.
He's got a full boon with Warchief's Blessing.
It's kind of tempting, actually.
Trade him Toro for that cape?
I think he already mailed it, so it's in the nether.
It's fine, I'll self-sacrificially do horrible DPS. Loot doesn't want to give me any gear either, so I'm not on anything.
It's okay, man.
So we're just getting back into the instance. Our Burning Adrenaline has fallen off, but because most of the raid has logged out, their buff is still going to be on them.
So are we just doing same tank assignments as in Nax?
Yes.
Log back on. Log back on.
So for this upcoming trash, it's just very important that the crowd controls and assignments go smoothly during the poll.
Diamond.
There is a... Yeah, I can't really get a good look safely, but there is a captain in there, and what he does is if any other ad is in the vicinity of that captain, it buffs the damage of the the other people, the other things in the pack. So what's going to happen is we have a few healers go over to this side and heal the tank that takes the captain, and then you should just always pay attention to your healer side.
Warriors, make sure you don't have stealth because you're tanking.
See where your tank is going if you do have a tank healing assignment.
We're gonna go with it. Yeah, ready?
And we just want to do this while we have Burning
ready,
Adrenaline.
Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull.
So we have a druid hibernating, and then the tanks are pulling.
And then the tanks to pick up. Line of sight, watch your back. Do not
So
get
here we
knocked.
go.
Pull diamond away, heal the tanks. Heal
The reason why I'm positioned like this is because they have a
Burst down stealth here,
knockback.
guys. Burst down stealth, heal the tanks.
We're just going to heal the tanks here.
You have infinite energy, infinite rage, infinite mana. Pull that mob away, just dash out.
I'm just going to keep the tank alive. That's all I'm doing. Watching tank health and healing them up. So I got charged, not a problem.
Bring away. Bring away to the cap.
I'm just going to stay at a line of sight for the guy that charges.
The captain.
Thunder.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
It scatters. Everyone in the room, like the right. Porpoise, you will be circled. Bali, you'll be star. Drac is on diamond, skull X, and square.
So same thing here. We're gonna have the captain pulled aside.
There is no triangle, there is no moon.
Every tank is going to get their
Tank
tank
is back up,
assigned.
tank is back up.
Every
5,
person who's
4,
doing a
3,
crowd control is
2,
going to get
1.
their
We're tanking to
assignment.
the right. Do not break the hibernate. No cleaving. Hibernate now.
You definitely want to single target these mobs because we do have
Get away
crowd
from those
control
mobs.
going out.
Yeah. Good job.
You can see we have the crowd control there.
Big melee weave.
And we just keep the captain separate because he buffs the damage of...
Oh, circle. Re-hibernate. Break, kill circle, it's broken. It's deep wounds. Kill it.
Yeah, kill.
I thought it broke. It's just
That's fine. Kill the worm capitalist.
captain.
Yeah, captain, what the fuck it is. I don't know what it's called.
Wormkin is the name of the other one.
Well, they're all wormkin, aren't they, technically? That's their race.
I think Dragonkin is the race.
Really?
Yeah, he
No,
combined.
these aren't dragonkin. Look how small they are.
If you
So
hover
whenever
over
I
it,
mouse
that's
over it,
the-
it says Dragonkin, idiot.
Gaming legend.
What? No, it says fucking dragon type. They're like Pokemon.
Alright, Iron Rogue, you and me are at the top. Summit, focus on the group.
Okay, so for this room coming up, this is the suppression room. What happens here is we have pre-assigned rogues to stay stealth the entire time and click these like little pillars that are coming out of the ground, and that will undo the suppression to where we can move at a regular speed, because if you do get caught in the suppression cloud, you have a reduced movement speed and reduced casting speed, and I think attack speed, so it's just all around bad if you stand in that. For these first few pulls, we're going to have a hunter just pull the mobs to the tank, and we're going to DPS them down. Something about these Deathtalon hatchers
Incoming huge, all cooldowns now.
is they
Lip
do...
taunts and lips.
I'm just going to focus here. We do have a big pull, so I'm just going to focus. In a big pull like this, you just want to watch your threat. Watch what kind of damage you're taking. Lip if you need to, and even Petri.
I went to click on the fucking turret and Drake went, like, moved under my cursor. I love that.
Alright, so we recovered
Diamond,
really
that
well.
triangle is next, pull from left to right.
So a little thing about these
Right
Deathtalon
as-
hatchers is they have a flame strike ability that they put on the ground, and this flame strike will ramp up in damage the more you stand in it. So you just want to be wary of where you're standing. Do not stand in the flame strike. And we want to avoid the mobs, like the little whelps, as much as we can.
TP is a good idea here, because the flame strike stacks, gets higher and higher, does more and more damage, okay?
You see I got 2 stacks of the flame strike there, so I'm just going to move out.
And pull it away from circle.
You can see our rogues in the forefront there. We have 2 assigned rogues that are just getting suppressions, 2 rogues in the middle of the raid that are getting suppressions. But we as a raid, we want to be moving up, kind of keeping the pace
I'm
going.
gonna swap with you, Summit, if you can go forwards. I don't know if
Once
I'm-
we get those first few pulls out of the way, we can just, it's like a,
What's your respawn?
we're kind of racing against the
I still
respawns,
got
right?
it.
Because
I'm
the
just gonna
whelps
stay on groups, I don't know.
continuously respawn. I'm just going to freedom him so he can get back in stealth. So if you are a rogue and you do get caught out of stealth, you just want to rejoin the raid immediately, and then wait for a opportunity to get back into stealth, because we do drop combat fairly often during this gauntlet, so there is an opportunity to re-stealth.
Kill diamond now, cool. Flame strike move, flame strike.
So I will position my camera just a little bit better so you can see what's going on. All we're doing is we're killing whelps and we're killing hatchers. We're moving at a regular speed because the suppression pillars have been already disarmed by the rogues. And this is our reset spot, so once we get the whelps down here, every hitter can jump on this ledge and drop combat.
If you want to mark.
And then you can drink.
Everyone full mana in the corner. If you see where triangle is jumping now, this is where you stand and mana up.
So we're full mana here. My buff times look good.
Full skull.
Warriors. Members.
We're going to do the same thing
Biggest mob and
with this
Sunday.
upcoming room that we just did. So we're going to do a first few initial pulls, and then we're going to move all the way over to where Star is eventually. That's where we're going to get.
Swine incoming. Let's go. Watch the flame strike. Everyone can come to the room, come to the corner, come to triangle now.
Right, so like I said,
There's
we're
something
going
you
to
need know about
be
this boss, guys.
moving
If
over
it
here.
comes from Narnia, you must not walk in like too far forward. Whenever you're
And this is
coming
the
in
final
front,
room
it's
of
like
the
that.
suppression stage. So we still have our rogues up front. It's very important that the rogues do not get out of stealth here. So this is where it becomes increasingly important. The boss is in the far back, Broodlord, and he has a very large aggro range to anyone that's in line of sight of him.
Thanks, help clear these
And
rocks
so
out.
how we mitigate that is just going out of his line of sight as we move
Everyone
up
stay on the
the
right
room.
side. Everyone should be on the right side of the corner.
We're going to stay in this little corner for quite some time while we
Ready
pull
for
the
hunter.
Talon
Flame
Hatchers,
strike on the raid. Move.
making sure that we're staying out of the Flame Strike.
Get skull. We can get a distract. Actually, we'll get a distract on
Where?
square's fine. Yeah, full square. Same. Flame strike.
So this is just
Full
basically
square.
all on...
Yeah, the flame
I mean, I
strike.
don't want to say it's all on, but like it's...
On
The pace is definitely set by the tanks and the rogues that are able to get
That's
you know,
right,
the,
wait for
the
me.
suppression
We'll
pillars
just,
down if they're getting good distracts on
Good job.
the Talon Hatchers to... So our hunter
We
can
can
pull
pull
them
square
into the
whenever.
group. And it's just a
We'll begin.
very,
Got
you
this
know,
cubby,
almost
guys, on the
intricate
right.
dance of just
Round
everyone
four.
understanding what their job is and just executing on that. So the hunter's pulling to the raid, the
Okay,
tanks
move
are picking up
forward.
the
Stay in this
hatchers,
cubby, must stay in
the
this
raid
cubby.
is staying out of flame strikes,
Flame strike incoming.
and the rogues are staying in stealth, you know, so.
No, that's not what I was.
Okay, we're pulling one more.
And this is how we stay out of line of sight of Broodlord. We're just going in and out of these little cubbies,
It's alright.
and you simply just want to stay with the raid when we get this far into it.
Re-stealth once we break combat here.
And so a couple of our rogues have got unlucky and they're out of stealth. So once we drop combat, they can go back into stealth.
I can do it.
Okay. Iron is on the turret. On raid. Summit, you're on the one during the fight. Check your 1 hours, everyone.
So we can move up one more cubby space, which is what we're going to do.
Triangle, hug right.
You just want to limit your time in line of sight of Broodlord because, I mean, yes, we were in his line of sight just now, but it's just a safer play all around
Never walk in
to
front of
keep
Star
out
Wars.
of his line of sight, right?
Walk
So
in
like
front of
with
Star
this.
Circle, you're too far.
So what's going to happen on the pull
Yep, Falcon.
is we're going to pull him
Right
into
here,
the
please,
little
let's
cubby
pull this
to
well
the right
Falcon.
here, like so.
I need you
If
to
you
pull
could straight ahead of where I'm
back.
facing, there's a cubby beyond this wall. That's where we're going to go, but there's also a suppression there. So what's going to happen is
Okay,
we're going to have
get this whelp here, and then
the
we'll find
hunter
out.
pull this
Alright, come
whelp,
out to chase these. We'll bring them to you.
and then the rogue's going to go in, disable the
Yeah, Falcon.
suppression,
Line of sight.
and then we're going to have a tank go in and just pull the boss that way.
Okay. When I say 3, that's when Iron Road goes. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
And here comes the pull. I'm going to get in position
The
really
raid
quick,
stack on triangle as a melee on his right leg, please. Heals
and
with
we're just
tank,
going to
heals
heal.
with
So
tank,
Broodlord
strike, please.
himself, he has a
We'll
knockback.
add first.
So if you're a melee, you want to aim yourself so you're not
We
knocked
focus on the fight, not the
into
sunders. I'll talk about
the
sunders
whelps
later.
over there on the far side.
Yeah,
Right leg,
at least
triangle,
the
right thread. I understand. Right leg.
Just want to be on his right leg, as the raid lead had just said. So, just healing the boss. He
Underneath,
does
take off
have
your
a
channel.
mortal strike
Good
on the
luck, please.
tanks.
Still backstab from where I'm standing.
So
Get
if
left
he
of the tank,
does a
still
mortal
backstab
strike,
you.
you know, obviously want extra heals on that person.
Heal up.
Melee will get
Again,
knocked back.
tanks.
Healing them up is not too bad,
Badgerella.
but it's just the mortal
Mortal
strike
strike.
that is the worrisome
faster
mechanic
than
during that knockback, because the tank can take extra damage.
Clear the room. Ranzik, I know you're going to fight me about this, but during the fight is not when we talk about Sunders. I understand they're important, I get that, I really do, I'm not disagreeing, but there are more important things than Sunders at that point in time. Please wait.
Like threat, which we're having an issue with because of something.
Okay, I knew you would argue with me. That's why I prefaced it. Do not do it right now. I'm saying as a raid leader, you don't get, like, stop. That's all I'm asking you is just stop and yell at me after raid, please. Thank you.
Put on your cloaks.
Yep, 20 cloaks on.
Just confirming, there's not a single person without a cloak in this raid.
I
Right.
have one spare cloak in case anybody needs it.
So as we're just going to clean up the rest of this room after Broodlord is dead, because the whelps no longer respawn. And it is at this point in time that you will equip, if you have it, your Onyxia Scale Cloak. And what this does is it saves you from an instant death on the mechanics coming up from the bosses. We're going to do a little bit of trash here for before Flamegor, I believe his name is. What's going to happen here is we have pre-assigned tanks to each mark that's going out, and also a hunter puller for these warlocks that are coming out. So we have a Blackwing warlock here marked Skull, but also there's the Blackwing technicians. We have a mage tank these technicians with Flame Strike and Arcane Explosion, and simply because the mage tank that are tanking these is just, it's very easy for them to dodge the grenades that they throw, and also easy for them to maintain threat over all the other AoE that's going on. This is Firemaw, sorry. Firemaw. I said Flamegor, but it's Firemaw.
We're gonna wait for him to leave.
There will be a better example coming up of these, we call them techies, the Blackwing technician packs. This doorway is kind of bad, but if you're pulling and you're a hunter, you want to pull your mark and just line of sight the warlock over here. That way the warlock is line of sight of you, it comes right to you, and then your tank will pick up that warlock.
So badge line of sight left here. You are Skull. Skull to the right, Luke.
Sure, sounds good.
So here comes the pack.
Second you have aggro.
Yeah, I got it, brother.
You can see our mage going in on the techies, and they're going to Arcane Explosion and run around in a huge, I guess you can't really do it in the doorway, but a circle. Because remember, the grenades that are being thrown are snapshotted to the position when they started throwing the grenade, if that makes sense.
We're fighting the hunters for threat, the mob isn't moving. People have to be watching that.
So, for example, say if I have an aggro on the Blackwing technician, if I'm standing right here, when they start throwing their grenade, the grenade will hit this spot. So if I move over here, I'm safe from the spot that the grenades are being thrown at.
Square to the left, techies to the left, Skull, X, and Diamond to the right, hunters.
So we're going to do another pull just like that. And we're actually going to wait because Firemaw is on his way.
You've just got to try and do as much damage as you can to pull them out. Yep.
Yes, brother.
Just be careful, JP. You kind of, after the Kona Cold, you kind of stopped for like half a second. That was enough for them to kill you. You got to like half before you got healed there.
Hunters click off salve as well.
Yep, hunters make sure you have no salves incoming. But remember, I want the techies left. Let me pull these back. Thanks.
Alright, so here comes another pull. It's the exact same as the last one. Hunters are going to pull their marks to the right. We're going to try and keep the technicians to the left.
Hunters, mage, tanks only. Here's on JV.
So Kona Cold, he's dazed. So it's kind of scary that he got dazed, so he probably took a shot to the back. Techies are in a kind of a bad position here, but as long as the mage keeps moving and never retraces their steps,
if we get a second spellbinder,
it's okay. You just don't want to walk back into a grenade that's being thrown, right?
Don't risk your fucking druid on that. Yeah, I could do it, man. It's no problem.
Yeah, just remember, Luke, that the reason I don't want you doing it is because the techies need to go a certain direction and you need to go the other direction.
True, my brain isn't that large. Thank you.
I'm not looting right now. Hunter traps are down. Target square.
Got it.
Target skull. Target X. Target diamond.
Thank you.
Target X. Incoming. Back it up. Oh, Firemaw's coming. Quick. Careful, JD here. I need you to let them come a bit further before you run in. Like a little bit further than normal.
Use the room for sure.
Let them come back all further. Come back further. Good job, JD. Kick the flame strikes. Heals on underneath, heals on JD. They're tanking the spellbinders.
Sorry, I wasn't doing much explaining there. I just had to focus because the boss was right there, and I didn't know if it was going to pull.
Next up is the boss. Please make sure you have your cloaks on. Let's get salves on criticals and Chow. Drak, Ranzig, and Badge are the tanks. Is that correct? Or for this one, we'll change it.
Ranzig,
Yep.
your first zone.
Drak is the main tank. I'm going to put it... Constance, you're the fire resist. You're in group 1. Everybody GFPP now. Every single person in the raid GFPP. Constance, Bembers, Altarian, you're the healers going around the corner. If you've never done this fight before, make sure you have your GFPP on. Make sure you have your Onyxia cloak on. You're standing on triangle as a melee, and you can stand on diamond as a ranged. You'll be line of sighting at 6 to 7 stacks. The stacks increase how much damage you take, just like the flame strike from earlier, except you can only dodge it by line of sighting. So you come out, you deal a bunch of damage.
Alright, sorry, I just had to figure out a healing assignment there. So what's going to happen with this boss is you want to have your Onyxia cloak equipped. My point of view is not going to be that great, but this boss has a stacking debuff as long as you're in line of sight of him. So you don't want to let your stacks get above 5 or 6.
Paladins can go around the corner, watch the weird thing.
So I'm just going to heal the boss up here. You can see my stacks are rising. Or I'm just resisting them. I don't see them. Because I got 1 stack now. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to wait for a Shadow Flame and then move into my position. So there's the Shadow Flame right there. And now I'm going to move. So basically you just want to keep behind this boss as much as possible because you do not want to get Shadow Flamed. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just keeping heals on the main tank here. But if you're doing this boss, you just want to keep your line of sight away from the boss from you gaining stacks. Because that stack will eventually tick to unhealable damage. And you just don't want to stress your healers out. And that's basically the boss. So just manage your stacks and stay behind him. Don't get hit by Shadow Flame.
Cloaks off. Back to your regular cloaks, please.
Ooh.
For this fight, Ranzig, you're on the unmarked. Your mob will be tanked by...
Very simple. Just line of sight the boss when you have high stacks to reset them, and then continue on the boss.
Okay.
Just be careful on threat on skull, guys. Ranzig, you're on unmarked. Drak, your backup goalkeeper, and Pico, your second goalkeeper in case bullshit happens. Make sure Ranzig faps, make sure we're staying in range to heal him when he runs to the back of the room. Stack skull, X and square tight, and face...
So what's going to happen with this one is these little guys can be stacked up because they don't really do much, but the big Talon Wyrmguard can have a random mechanic. One is a stun, one is like a stun knockdown kind of thing. One is a spin, I believe, where the tanking will spin. And then that will deal damage to everyone in range of that spin. So we just want to kill the little guys first. We can cleave them down. And then we want to wait for our main tank to call what mechanic it is.
Everybody GFPP now while we're fighting these.
So far it doesn't seem like it's anything. But that could change because he just hasn't casted his ability yet, maybe. So this one is the War Stomp. So he just War Stomps periodically and will stun everyone within melee range of him. That's this one's little mechanic.
Okay. Target.
Perfect.
Skull.
So this is where I can
Target
get a very
X.
good view of the
Square.
technician packs, the techie packs.
Diamond.
If you are a melee,
Traps on the jumping bear.
if you don't have any other assignment, you are going to stay in
Your
this
X.
green cubby, and the
Ethan
mobs
X,
will be
remember?
pulled around the corner,
So
and then you
Luke,
can do your
sorry,
DPS.
So Pizza, you'll be on the right by the barrels.
If you are
Peter,
assigned to a
everyone else
specific
is
mark
left.
and
Make sure they
assigned
get
to a
dispelled. See, there's
specific
spellbind in
place,
this pack. Make
that's
sure
where
the
you'll
mages all
go.
get dispelled.
But the
GFPP down.
warlocks
All on
will be
traps.
coming around this corner, and the spellbinders will be coming around
Wait
this
for them to get around
corner.
this corner
It will
onto
need to be
triangle.
DPS down.
Make sure we're watching JB
Our
dispels, no threat.
our
As you're
mage is
100%
going to be
dispel off,
doing
mage
the
with dispel
kiting
off.
here, the techie kiting. You'll see them go in here in a second. Here they
Okay, start
come,
moving.
and then Cone of Cold,
Keep that moving, JB.
and then they're
Dispel
gonna
X
start.
out.
They're gonna start
Sight.
their kite. It's a little bit easy. It's a lot easier for the mage to do the kite here because of the room. But you can see how they're running in circles, not taking much of any damage because the grenades are being thrown. But since the mage is moving, the grenades will never hit the mage. As long as the mage doesn't retrace their
People
steps.
on diamond should be the two.
Always
reds
want to
here.
move in a continual circular, pathway.
Okay, don't loot. Set up your traps.
Very important that we move through this trash quickly just to
Badge.
preserve buffs.
Badge has skull. Careful, just platform, dude.
Diamond.
Wait. I've got X here.
And square. Not get diamond.
I've got diamond for you. Hold on. There's diamond.
Got it. Thank you.
Being your target skull. Phoenix.
Yep, I've got skull for you. Incoming. There's two spellbinders. Yep.
So
that'll be
just gonna be just
Phoenix and
more
underneath,
techie packs
underneath
here.
First, okay?
There's nothing too
We're on
special.
triangle.
What I'm doing as a healer, that I'm
no
assigned to
front, so
the mage
have
that's healing, that's doing the
Watch out,
techie
I'm
packs.
sure.
What I'm doing is I'm spamming cleanse because it's possible that the mage gets sheeped during the pull, and that drops aggro off the technicians. So as this pull comes in, I'm just gonna spam cleanse.
Dispel JB if he gets it. JB,
If it does happen,
keep moving J. GFPP if you're falling off. Ursh. Kicks.
sorry, I just had to focus there because tank got sheeped. Had to
Good job,
cleanse.
guys.
And then you can see the mage running in a
Underneath
circle
this,
here.
Your first rumba.
Try not to get hit by them, but I mean, it is what it is, right? You can only do so much because they're ranged. As long as you're keeping aggro on them,
Remember, if you're
it's
taking
fine.
damage right now, a couple of people in the raid taking damage, it's probably fire damage, which means GFPP again. Just keep clicking it.
I'm not getting a good point of view of the warlocks and spellbinders dying in that cubby hole. But what's happening is on the spellbinders, we have melee assigned to interrupt, kick them, and stun them, whatever the case may be, and then their DPS down first, and then we move to the square. While the casters are AoEing down the tech packs, which are not, you can't rip aggro off the techie packs because the mage would be tanking them. You just want to watch your threat on those. So we're going to do the same thing here. I'm going to spam cleanse on the mage that's tanking. Our hunters are going to pull their marks to wherever they need to be pulled to.
X and Skull are a little stuck, but just get aggro on them and line of sight, guys. Watch the shadow bots. Kick. Get X through, Falcon. Yeah, good job. Heal hold. GFPP if you're taking fire damage. Flame strike on the raid. Move it. Just be careful, guys. You can hit the mobs without standing flame strike. Let's communicate our kicks if we can. I know some of you can. Okay, one more pack, guys. GFPP, frost traps. Line her up. Target badge.
Diamond.
Thank you.
Skull.
Sounds good.
Square. Got it. X.
Phoenix has triangle.
Alright, pulling.
Underneath, you're first on triangle, I'm second. Incoming. No more threat. Get ready on the dispels. If you pull threat on these warlocks, line of sight as a healer. Just keep that in mind. Watch the dispels. No threat as we pull in. Tanks get the line around the corner. Dispel babies. Watch it. A lot of damage there, Jay. Okay, skull. It's a bit confused. There we go. Good job. Brian was a bit stuck. It's fine. Inside care. Yeah, let's just watch the. Badge, bring it in. Yep. I need a. I can stun this. Okay. Everyone loot your stuff. Please don't trade Phoenix cloaks on, please. Everybody back to your Onyxia cloak. Onyxia cloak on. We haven't gotten one Elementium yet. Oh, there it is.
Are we still good on Elementium smiting? We got a few people alive. Or smelting. Okay.
We got that.
Just know we did the MC like once and then never again, but we're still chilling, it's fine.
Yeah. Alright, we want to pull before Ebonroc comes. Falcon is
So
X.
just like the last pack, but in this case there's 3 of the big guys. So if each of these 3 big guys can have a separate mechanic of their own. As a ranged or caster, you just simply don't want to be near them just in case it is the stomp.
3, 2, 1.
Because we marked skull, X, and square, does not mean that that is the kill order. We just need to wait to see what mechanics there are.
X especially. Casters back up. Get the tanks. Watch skull. We don't know what it is. Skull is frostfall. Pulse X. Yeah, good job.
So we're just going to wait and see what the mechanics are, and then the raid lead will call.
Melee, you can fap if you want to uptime DPS. Spin on square. Watch it. Goalkeeper on square, please. Ranzig, you'll be back up on X. Rack and Badger on square.
And so what happens is sometimes we'll have a backup tank. Like just be prepared to pick up the ad. You can see here that our backup tank is ready. He did get stunned though, so maybe he's just a little bit too close.
If you can't detect it, it's arcane.
But you just don't want to be close when.
I'm spinning.
Back up. Whenever he spins, you back away. Let the casters finish it. There's the spin and the stomp. It's a horrible combo if you get stuck in that.
You guys all need to be further back.
Okay, don't kill this, please. Don't kill this. Oh, I guess we just are gonna kill him. Well,
I
that's
got
good
it.
rage. Probably to full.
Spell it.
Good rage off it.
Alright, so this will be Ebonroc. As always, you want your Onyxia Scale Cloak equipped. Since I equip mine for Firemaw, I just keep it on the entire raid.
10 seconds, line your
So.
Time is money, friend.
Falcon, are you comfortable sacrificing the pet?
Yeah, no worries.
Which pet is it? Batty? Let's get Fort on Batty, let's get Kings. Let's
So-
buff Batty up, please.
So for the setup here, we're just setting. We usually do a pet pull for this one because during the pull of this boss,
Yeah, we do.
it's possible
He's going to the corner, but you haven't used
that
the walls, not
the boss builds up
So you'll just
like
be-
auto attack thrash stacks, and it's all unleashed on our tank. So we have the pet pull,
Wherever the off-tank
and the
position
pet
is
eat
where
the
you
thrash.
stand as the third tank.
But what's going to happen is the boss is going to be pulled up into this corner over here. So down the ramp into that corner, and that's where it's going to be
Ebonroc
tanked.
is our boss. This boss is a tank fight, so let the tanks communicate, please.
So this
Make
one's
sure
all
the
in the
taunts are getting
tanks.
enough threats up
It's
for
all
them
about
to watch
taunting
the
at the
tanks,
right
saving the
time,
tanks.
pulling threat at the right time,
Falcon,
and just making sure
Join
the
the pull.
boss stays in a controlled
Bring it-
position at all
bring it
times
halfway.
because
Wait, come up here.
of the shadow
Minus
flame,
Jack is
the shadow
triangle.
frame breath. can, even though if you have an
want
Onyxia scale
criticals, if you
cloak,
can
it
stay
can
here,
still
and just, if the
deal
boss
a
comes
large
to
amount
us
of
fighting for it,
damage.
you just position it for the tanks and then let them take
So
it
we
away,
have
okay?
we have all of our casters and
Alright.
most of our healers
Please
over
no
there,
surround full,
but
except for
we
Batty
have
and
2
Isaac.
healers over on this way just in case we need instant heals
Income.
on the tank, because they're line of sight right
Just stop
there,
him right where you were,
rightfully so.
Yep.
So here
Eat
comes
the
the
thrash.
pull.
You're right.
The bat ate the thrash, and then we're gonna just get heals on the tank
Mind on
here.
triangle, guys.
You want to wait until they get position. Watch threat.
Let the tanks get it.
And then if Shadow Flame is about to cast while you're in this position, you just want to line of sight.
Wing buff it in 5.
And then you come back out and you're healing. Shadow Flame is a cone in front, so it'll never hit you as long as you're behind the boss. And then the tanks are doing their thing. Move for Shadow Flame. It's all about positioning.
Warriors, watch your threat. Shadow Flame. You won't get another wing buffet. Just execute down.
The reason I didn't line of sight that Shadow Flame is because the boss was nowhere near facing me.
Next
So.
boss is Flamegor. Falcon, can I get a taunt rotation?
Yeah, I loot myself then.
I don't have it, brother.
Yeah,
I'm not
he doesn't
an
have it.
MC yet.
Alright. Isthmus first, myself second, Pizza third.
Okay. Isthmus, are you comfortable with that?
Isthmus first, you said?
Yep.
Yes.
First, fourth, seventh.
So this next boss is very similar to the one we just did.
Say I've got it or it missed.
But this one has an enrage mechanic where it does need to be tranquilizing shot by the hunters who have that ability. So what happens here is we set up a rotation for trank shot, and then those players in the defined order will use their trank shot. So we're going to do the same pull, the same thrash pull. Halfway down the ramp, takes the thrash, it dies, unfortunate, and so there's the frenzy. You see how he got big, and then the hunter just tranks and he gets small again. And so now it's moving on to the next hunter. I'm just gonna line of sight that just in case.
Second trank.
Boss gets big and it's tranked.
Harry? Should go back to Ranzig, wait for it. Trank 3.
So what's happening with the tanks, as well as the last boss, is there is a wing buffet that happens, and this wing buffet drops threat. So what's happening is we're having our off tanks taunt the boss to eat the wing buffet, so our main tank retains his aggro lead. If it happens again, it happens again. But that's what's happening with this boss. Very simple.
This is a big fucking Blackwing Lair.
Alright, cloaks off.
Cloaks off. Tanks, make sure you have FAP. If you do not, say something now.
Getting a new food buff.
Hunters collect square. Food, fork, and pizza. Drac, when you're ready, you can counter.
So this is the same pull here that we did previously with the 3 large Wyrmguards.
I don't know when he's ready.
Each of them have
him.
4, 3.
Each of them has their respective mechanic that will happen. Tanks just pick them up, and DPS just wait.
Make sure you're in range of the tanks, healers. X is too close to square, guys. Come on. On skull. Max range.
Spinning on X. Pull him back a little bit.
Spinning on X, you said?
I was, yeah.
Okay. We'll go to square now. Everyone square, please. Everyone square.
If you can't
Just as a reminder, just because they're marked skull, X, and square does not mean we are killing them in that order. Just listen to the calls, and they will lead you to victory.
Wait on me. Wait on me. Lean. You gotta watch this. When the threat drop happens, you can't be doing damage. Goalkeeper's a little slow. You were too far away.
Hold on, this is X, you guys. Look at where Ranzig is. You're hitting pads right now, I think.
That's alright. Back up melee. He hits you.
So a little bit what happened there.
Get the fuck out! Get the fuck out!
We can't. You're south of the boss, Ranzik.
Yeah, it was just a threat swap. Or a tank swap.
Yeah, like... Well, I petried, so... Does anyone have a spare?
Yeah, I have a spare.
Pay your 40 gold for it.
Oh, dude, that's a premium, dude. 55.
So what happened there is just there was an aggro drop on that ad, and we had one of our warriors eat a hit. It's just important that you're just paying attention during those.
Drac, take some sand, please. And Summit, take some sand. Trade Summit, Drac, or myself, Phoenix. We are marked Skull, X, and Square. Now what you do is, if you're a DPS, you need 2. If you're a hunter or healer, you need 3. If you're a tank, you need 4. If you have the right amount in your inventory, don't trade me. If you have the wrong amount, trade me everything and I'll give you the right amount. Trade X, Skull, or Square. Your tank.
I'm DPS for this fight. I'm DPS
Oh, okay.
So this is going to be Chromag, or Chromaggus. So what's going to happen is we're going to set up the hourglass sand. It is a very important consumable that's looted only from Blackwing Lair, but you will need it for this fight. I'll explain why here in just a second.
DPS 2, Hunters 3, Healers 3, Tanks 4. Flank order is the same, Isthmus, Fork, and Pizza. Hunters, make sure you're cleansing.
Trying to get the appropriate sand, but it says I'm trade. There we go.
If you need sand still, stand
Perfect.
on Skull.
So this boss has the only major gimmick here is the breaths that Chromaggus will do, and he will only do 2 breaths of the possible 5 the entire fight. It's possible. We just need to confirm what breaths there are, and they happen, during the fight, as he casts them. That's how we figure out what they are. I'm going to be in the melee group here, and this is how we line of sight the boss, just by going into this little cubby hole. So if you need to line of sight a breath, so you're out here DPSing, you move over here, and you're line of sight from the boss. So the main tank is going to pull the boss. Unfortunately, I can't get a good POV of it, but I'll explain the fight as we're going. So the boss is pulled, and the tank will get him in position. Here we go. So it's very important that the healers are dispelling as often as they can, because the stacks, will add up, and if you get all 5 of these debuffs on one single person, they get mind controlled for the rest of the fight. So here comes our first breath. It is Ignite Flesh, so we want to line of sight it, and then we're back out. If you do get a bronze debuff on you, you want to use your hourglass sand. That's what it is for, to remove the bronze debuff. If I get it, I will use my sand, but if not, unfortunate. So here comes the second breath. We're going to see what it is. It is time lapse.
If you tank, pick it up. Badge is taunt. Fix the position. Crit is taunt. He'll crit. Sabian Wayne Petri.
So time lapse, you want to dodge it, or sorry, you want to get hit by it. You need to get hit by time lapse. What time lapse does is it stuns you for a determined amount of time, but it will also drop your aggro. So that is why you need to dodge it.
I want to burst this fucker. Bronze, cleanse bronze. Heal Ranzik.
Because if you are one of the
Push damage. Execute face down.
people that dodge time lapse, and the tank will also get hit by it. So if you're second on threat, the boss is going to come for you and kill you. So during this fight, all we're doing is we're DPSing the boss, dodging all the breaths via line of sight, unless it's time lapse, and that's the fight.
I was really thinking Ashtrathal was gonna drop. Now that it's not.
Cloaks.
Please don't trade me. Yeah, click your Onyxia.
So that fight can be hectic, and overwhelming at first. But as long as you remember that you're DPSing the boss, the first breath is coming out. Find out what it is, whether it's ignite flesh is what we had. So you want to dodge that. You move into the cubby, and that's it. For the ranged, they were over here, and they were doing the same thing. So they were moving out, they were DPSing, and then they were going to line of sight the boss on this wall. You want to dodge every breath except for time lapse. You always get hit by time lapse. Unless you are the off tank that is going to pick them up after time lapse, or a healer.
Rogues, equip your insignia of the Alliance. Good idea. Everyone save your potion cooldown. You need your potion cooldown save for lip. If you have holy water, if you have dynamite, if you have sappers, you need to have them on your bar ready so that you can lip and then press your sappers.
Okay, so this is the final boss, Nefarion.
If I call stop DPS, you must stop DPS, okay?
I can't really explain all of the class calls. I'll just give a brief overview of each one. But the very first phase is through these first two doors, a bunch of ads are going to spawn, and we just kill the ads. Nothing too special about that, and once we kill 30 ads, phase 2 will start. Also, during this phase, a random player can get mind controlled. You just want to CC them and get them out of the raid. Stun them, sheep them, whatever you can do to get them out. So the class calls, very briefly, going down the list. For warriors, the warriors are put into berserker stance for the duration of the class call. And that means our main tank, so he'll be taking a lot of damage during the class call. Once it expires, the warriors are they're free to move stances again.
Can someone on that side talk to the Nefarion?
For rogues, the rogues are instantaneously transported in front of the boss and stunned, I believe. So what needs to happen is the main tank will rotate the boss so that they are not getting shadow flamed or cleaved by the boss. For mages will randomly sheep anyone that's near them at random. So what's going to happen is the mages are placed there, will be placed right here, DPSing the boss, and if it is the mage class call, they will turn around and blink into this cubby hole. For warlocks just summon a bunch of infernal ads that need to be AoE down. For hunters, their ranged weapon will instantly break, so if it is a hunter call, you either want to unequip your main ranged weapon or equip a different one so that that one breaks, if that makes sense. For priests, priests' heals will become a damage over time dot on allies, so you just simply do not want to heal during class call if you are a priest. Only shields and renews will work, so your power word shield and your renew will work. If you directly heal someone, you will put a damage over time dot on them, and it does stack. Then lastly, for paladins just simply put Blessing of Protection on Nefarion, and that just negates all physical damage.
It'll be Honk, Beppis, and Constant. Honk, Beppis, and Constant. You are the Ranzig healers. Please focus up. 8 left, Ranzig, go to your spot. Healers, go to your spot. Honk, Beppis, and Constance.
Right, so once we get close to the amount of kills needed to enter the phase,
think he's just completely fucking out of it right now. That's great.
No. He's spending time with his wife instead of me, his virtual wife.
Focus up, please. 3 left. 3 left.
So now we're prepping for
these last ones quickly so we don't
phase 2. We have assigned healers that will come out and heal the main tank. I just happen to be one of them. You can max range here
max melee, guys.
to avoid Nefarion's fear.
Moon,
but you also want to get heals on the tank, so just don't
badge,
watch your threat here while the main tank pulls and positions him. It's not a big deal. You also want to max range Nefarion to avoid getting feared. Other than that, he has regular dragon mechanics where he does a fire breath in front of him, a cleave in front of him, and a tail swipe. So there's Shadow Flame. We're just going to put heals on the tank. It's not a big deal. There's the fear.
Back up. Pick it up. Ranzik, reposition. Oh, Shadow Flame. He'll drag your badge. Position. Deal with Ranzik now. Does he have one?
So that time our tank got feared. Very scary.
Max melee on Star. Listen to me now.
Real call. So the main tank's going to rotate the boss.
Max melee. Keep a fear word on Ranzik. Communicate it now. Who's next?
Hideo's next. It's up.
Hideo's next.
Very important for fear wards to be there. So I'm kind of close to the boss. I don't want to be, because I might get feared. So I'm going to try and reposition.
Shadow Flame on Ranzik. Healing. I'm getting tail swipe there. Watch the fear. Rogues, cleanse it, and run. Back to the spot.
So we do need decurses on Ranzik.
Decurse Ranzik and heal him. Turn the boss, Ranzik. Turn the boss.
Wait, Shadow.
So next is the Hunter class call. Their range weapon's going to break. Not a big deal.
At 30. Okay.
And then so phase 3 is gonna start, and so all the ads we killed in phase 1 are going to come alive as undead. You want to lip and AoE them down.
We do not go in on mage.
So we're going to stop DPS here because we're waiting for the next class call.
Wait for class call. Do we have a fear ward? Warlocks. Okay, we can push.
There's Warlocks.
Push these mobs down. Get ready. If you have a lip, you must be ready to go. Fear ward, Ranzik. Make sure it's up.
So we're going to push the boss. Here comes the ads. The ads are on their way.
Ads incoming.
You can see the ads are going to revive here pretty soon. There they are.
Watch the fear. It might line up. Lip now. Second pack. Lip here. Lip and send it.
I'll get it.
Good job. Yep.
Huge damage, by the way.
That's be a mage.
And then that's the fight. Kind of scary because our tank got feared, but it was a really great recovery.
Yeah, it was like the DPS. I thought the DPS was faster. I wanted to push into 20 faster than that, but the DPS just didn't exist.
Hey, let's get a Portal to Storm one.
Peppers, can you trade me?
Can we kill Ani real quick? What's up?
Might as well.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
You need
shall.
the boon.
Portal to Iron
Can you just hold on to this?
Iron Forge. Portal to Iron Forge.
It's not a hold. Some shit.
Alright guys, thank you for coming to Blackwing Lair. And I hope and just have a good one.
Make sure you have your Ani Ami